The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is a fabulous football Friday of Mick Shots inside the SWBC Mortgage Studio here at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones, Everson Walls in studio. And Mickey Spagnola as we set the stage for the news of the day, which will break after we sign off the air at 2:15, which happens every day.
Can we just stop that trend?
Can we just not do the show?
I just think you jinxed it yesterday when you said that.
Well, let's review. Let's go back to last Friday, okay?
Right.
What happened after we signed off last Friday? We got the news on, the official news on Michael Gallup. We already knew he was hurt in the game the night before, but Lyle Collins. And on Monday, we get the Randy Gregory news. Then after the show, Tuesday or Wednesday, it was DeMarcus Lawrence. So then yesterday, we get some more news.
We find out that Ty Nsekhe had some sort of heat exhaustion in the training room. They were giving out IVs. It was hot yesterday, but I think it was very humid, too.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And it was a padded practice, and evidently got dehydrated. And so when we finished here yesterday, I walked outside because they were supposed to do player interviews, and I saw, Dak's still going. So we're sitting there talking with Dak, and as we're talking to him, the length of the building, the far north, or west, I guess it is, all of a sudden one of the emergency units comes rolling in. I don't know if you saw it before you left. And it's like, and then it turned the corner at the end of the building, turned left, and you could see Dak's eyes kind of lighting. I mean, they were getting wide, and he was losing concentration on his answer. And then it stopped right in front of the entrance to where the locker room is, and it's like, oh no! And and in lieu of what happened last year with Marcus Paul, it was like, are you kidding me? And so they kind of abruptly ended Dak's press conference or his interview.
Cleared the media out.
And everybody left, but we could see the thing was still sitting there. And then the stretcher went in, and then it came out. It was Ty Nsekhe. They were taking him to the hospital. And as Mike McCarthy explained, he was having heat problems, probably dehydrated, and ended up spending the night in the hospital and was released this morning. And as Mike said, he would not be available to go to L.A. this weekend. So
that's got to be pretty serious. I mean, usually you have a little dehydration and
right.
You're okay. I'll be okay
because they got an IV room there, right? And they just put guys in IV rooms. And Mike really, he said, he didn't know much about it until somebody told him. So yeah. It was scary there for a while, and but that's what happened after we signed off once again.
But hopefully everything's okay with Ty Nsekhe, and but again, he has been ruled out for Sunday's game, and hopefully have a good weekend and be back at it next week.
Yeah, regain his strength or whatever, and that heat stuff's scary.
But you would think that the worst would be over. I mean, we've had some horrible days in Dallas.
Right.
And even after they came back from training camp. And for him to go down now, it's unusual.
Well, when I looked at the temperature when you called and told me what was going on, and it was around 90 degrees, I think, at that point, which is what
average for Dallas,
Texas. But like Mickey said,
humidity.
Walking to the parking lot, I was like, wow, it was hot out on that practice field today. It felt hot yesterday, and so I don't know if they're.
Did they have anyone else who was complaining at all about the heat?
They had. I mean, I think someone said Zeke went in for an IV. So there was several guys getting IVs yesterday.
And this is Zeke after wearing the
right
sweatshirt, the hoodie, and all of that.
Maybe put on a T-shirt and shorts, so you don't sweat.
We had to do all of that stuff so we could make weight back in the day. Go spend the time jumping into the sauna, the steam room and things of that nature. Guys going in there. I'd go in there just to socialize because that's where all the cool guys were, trying to lose weight and make weight.
How unhealthy you think this was? So when we were in college, it was in the old gym, and they had an upstairs wrestling room, and it was a 3-walled little room, and the mat was there. And the wrestlers, to cut weight, to make sure they made weight, right? It was padded, and at one point on the wall, the pad opened, and there was like a hole in there, and that's where it was steam heat. Remember the old steam heat things that they banged or whatever?
Yeah.
Those guys would go in there with their sweats on in this little cubby hole to sweat to cut weight. And I'm going, now how healthy is that? But that was the way they did it in wrestling, right?
Weight Watchers, I'm sure I've told the story. Weight Watchers were paying the coaches. When they had the challenge of the overweight coaches, Shell, Parcells, Reed, there was a few of them that they said, okay, we're going to have a Weight Watchers challenge, and whoever loses the most weight, they get something. I don't know what it was, but these were all the NFL coaches. So the first game I played, regular season game, Philadelphia Eagles, Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken, 1990. Parcells had been coming into the steam room with us, with the players, as we're trying to make weight. He's trying to make weight for Weight Watchers so that he can win the contest. So he's in there with us. And when you go on a liquid diet, then there could be a problem if you don't do it correctly. And he ended up
that
developing.
In college. I was on a liquid diet in college.
Yeah, but you were getting carbs, right?
Well, he ended up getting a stones.
Really?
Yes, and he had to pass a stone before the game.
Oh.
He passed the stone before the Philadelphia game, Sunday night, 1990. So I learned a lot about liquid diets at that time. I didn't need it, but big guys like that, they needed it. And boy, he paid for it.
We had the guy that was the captain of the wrestling team when I was in college. In my freshman year, he was on our floor, and the night before weigh-ins, he'd be walking around spitting.
I've seen that before. Yeah, I don't even know if that makes a difference. I'm pretty sure that makes no difference at all, right? I mean, come on.
I should have known that when I was. So here's some more. You guys can laugh. When I was in junior high, we had a track team, and we had. They divided us up to heavyweights and lightweights, right? By size, so you had a chance to compete, right? So I was obviously a lightweight, right? So we were at a meet.
Is there something more extreme than lightweight? I'm sure there's another.
Featherweight?
Yeah, feather. Let's go feather. Might weight.
We got to a
Mickey Mike.
We got to a meet. We got to a meet, and we had to do our height and weight, and there was a formula. Your how tall you were and how much you weighed to get. So, for some reason, when they measured me, I was 2 inches taller. It's like what the hell?
So you were 4'11"?
Like, I didn't grow. So there I was trying to
make weight.
Yes, make weight.
Why were you on a liquid diet, Bill?
Because he was having way too much fun in college.
At Oklahoma, they had 3-2 beer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you could drink more.
Yeah. That was very disappointing.
So anyway, to not bring down the house, but, I remember that summer when the Cowboys were in Wichita Falls when Corey Stringer had it was a heat stroke, right? And he ended up passing away.
Right. I mean,
and this was training in Minnesota, right? And here we were in Wichita Falls, where the afternoon practice, when they were practicing in pads twice a day, it's 115 degrees, and the humidity was high, and the wind was blowing. It was like you were in a convection oven.
I was working with Ducey at that time, doing some training camp work, and I
Now, who's Ducey? Who's it?
Yeah.
this guy, we call him the Deuce. He's a little local guy here. But no, we were having fun with it. I brought my 10-speed, and I was riding
Wichita Falls.
In Wichita Falls.
You-
And
You were getting
100?
ready for a hotter than hell 100,
it was
right?
hotter than hell. I don't know what they call it. It was hotter than hell every day.
Every day.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily nap for 3 hours.
That's why there was a
That's not a nap. That's just going to sleep.
there was an Air Force base there, and they were training pilots. And one of the reasons they picked there is because Wichita Falls had the most sunshine days annually in the year.
That's an
It was always
understatement.
clear.
That's an
Yeah,
understatement.
right. There were no
Sunshine
clouds.
days.
There were no clouds.
Right.
And there were no trees.
There was no relief.
But Everson in Wichita Falls every year in August, they have the Hotter Than
course.
Hell 100.
Yeah, of course
So-
they do.
Yeah.
All right, so bring it back to
Yes.
Cowboys-Chargers on Sunday.
Get out of junior high. Huh?
And all right, here's a question to pose. Of the players that the Cowboys will be missing, and do you have an update on anybody and anything new today?
As much as I can give you, yes. So Nsekhe's out. Donovan Wilson has not practiced yet, sore groin. McCarthy said his availability depend on what he can do tomorrow, because today is kind of their walkthrough. Tomorrow they have a light practice. He does it a little different than the other teams. Usually the light practice is on Friday, Saturday's a walkthrough. If he doesn't do anything tomorrow, then he's not playing. Same thing with DeMonte KZ, the other starting safety. He's got a bruised thigh, I believe it was, and he was put on limited yesterday, so that's going to depend on what he does. Trying to think.
Well, you get, and then the
Who
Gregory
else?
issue.
And then
COVID.
Gregory, as Jerry said, when they asked him, does he have a chance to play, and he's got. And he
We're
was
back to the Zach Martin deal leading up to Tampa, right?
Right, and Jerry put it this way because it's like slim and none.
Yeah.
So he goes, yeah, he's got about a gnat's ass chance.
That's pretty small ass.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
Like Mickey,
Douglas,
like
That's
Mickey.
a mite ass. Yeah.
no,
middle school.
not that small. Because Douglas looked up what's the dimension of a gnat's ass, and it's 1/10,000th of an inch.
That's the gnat.
That's the gnat.
So the ass is like.
Yeah, probably even smaller.
That's crazy.
So it sounds like they're probably without Gregory. Now the good news is it also sounded like Malik Hooker is ready to go. He didn't say yes he's playing, but he said he's had a really good week of practice, had a good week last week. He was inactive, so if they've got a safety problem, I would imagine Hooker and Jaron Kearse are the starters back there.
So physically, nothing's wrong with Hooker.
No, he just needed to get in shape and get back into playing football after missing so much time with the ruptured Achilles. Brandon Knight looks like he will be the backup swing tackle with Nsekhe out, and they really didn't have another choice. And I guess the other thing in an emergency, Zach Martin could always move out there if you need be. But with Knight taking the place of Nsekhe, then they'll have their 8 guys. You got to have 8 offensive linemen to be able to qualify to bring 2 guys up off your practice squad on game day.
So you would keep Farniok, who's the backup center,
and
active.
Farniok,
and
backup center. And you would have to keep, obviously McGovern's your backup guard. I think that's, and they put DeMarcus Lawrence on injured reserve. But they only had 52 on the roster. Now they got 51, so they only have to have 5 guys inactive. And it's hard to find 5 when you need everybody healthy, as many as you can to put together the 46 game day roster.
So they still have 2 spots
Yes.
on the 53 available.
Right.
Now.
And I
With
would
DeMarcus going on.
Right.
See, the other part of that is we'll see what happens starting next week. But, with all the COVID protocols and so forth, to get say there's a player who's a free agent right now that they want to bring in, they can get him into
Yes.
To where he's passing the protocols to be ready to work whenever they go back on the field.
Right.
And they still have 5 days left for that because it's a Monday night game next week. So their practices for the Eagles really won't start until
if
Thursday.
you needed to fill somebody that's not already on your practice squad.
Right.
So I would
So you
imagine,
see what happens in the game on Sunday if there's anything else that happens,
Right.
and then you make your decisions.
What's the time frame
on
if
who
you
you're
bring
adding.
somebody in new?
I mean, it depends on where they've been
Right.
and
If they've been with a team.
and if they've been vaccinated.
Okay.
So I would imagine one guy comes up off the practice squad again is Sprinkle, the tight end, so they have 3 of them. And then they probably would pick somebody, I would think, just for special teams purposes. And, maybe it ends up being Ralston. Or the other guy that would have a chance is Ian Bunting?
Yep, tight
defensive end. Defensive end. No, he's a tight end, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. So maybe they wouldn't bring both of them up, but one of them for sure, and then just kind of see for special teams, and that's why I mentioned Ralston. He could help him on
Is
special
Brown?
teams.
Is Noah Brown?
Noah Brown's ready to go. He's on the roster.
Excellent.
Yes. So they'll have their 5 receivers because Fihoko would be the 5th.
There you go. He's in there as well.
Right, and Cedric Wilson would take the place of Gallup in
Of
the
course.
starting lineup.
Yeah.
So, a lot of roster shuffling, and, this is life in the NFL.
I tell you what, the Cowboys I think they're geared for it, especially on the offensive end. Of course, we got plenty of backup there. Cedric Wilson coming in. I don't feel any problems with him coming in. Big target.
Yeah.
Get down the field. Knows how to catch and run. Feel good about him coming in. But defensively, man, that defensive line with D-Log on. Dorrance is feeling good?
Dorrance, he better be feeling good because this is the big chance,
Yeah.
right? Because I would imagine, at defensive end, the first 2 guys
He'll
up
start
is
for Lawrence.
Armstrong
Yep.
and Basham, Terrell Basham. And then you got the pups after that.
Bradley Anai, Azur Kamara.
And then Golston looks like he's ready to go. Although this was, the way Mike put it, though, this was his first week of practice in pads. So who knows?
Ever
if he's
since we
ready to
drafted
go.
him, I wanted to see what he could do.
Yeah.
And so will he have a chance to play?
This was, the way Mike put it, this was his first practice in pads since Iowa.
What?
Think about it, because he got hurt before. He got hurt doing the conditioning test in training camp.
So to answer your question, no. He's not playing this week.
So maybe not.
If he plays this week, we got real problems.
And Azur Kamara could help him on special teams. That's kind of what caught their eye. And then
he's got a nose for special teams.
You got an eye.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that can
And
play.
then you got the linebackers. And I would imagine, Mike.
Do you want to get into them when we come
Yes,
back here?
absolutely.
We'll come back and talk linebacker snaps when we come back here on Mix Shots in just a moment.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Mick Shots.
Check out the new Miller Lighthouse, located outside of AT&T Stadium, where Dallas Cowboys game day traditions are born. Enjoying yard games, Bill. What kind of yard games do you want?
Let's go. Let's play some cornhole.
Cornhole. Dallas Cowboy cheerleader performances, beer gardens, and more. For more information, visit attstadium.com/Miller Lighthouse. Miller Lighthouse, your tailgate just got jealous.
You gotta hand me that stuff next time, Spags.
I was trying to get the cornhole in there when I said
good.
It's not in the copy.
Good.
It's not in the copy, and so
he ad-libbed.
You gotta ad-lib.
That's right. All right, ad-lib the injury report for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yes, the big one, Brian Bulaga, their starting right tackle with a groin and back injury, did not practice on Wednesday and Thursday, and looks like he's not practicing on Friday because they placed him on injured reserve, you said. You just saw, so they'll be playing a backup right tackle, and they list the backup there as Storm Norton.
Do you remember him?
I do not.
From the Honeymooners?
Hey, Norton. Okay. And if it's not him, behind
Spags knows he knows who the hell you're talking about. He act like he doesn't know.
Behind the starting left tackle, their rookie Rashawn Slater is Trey Pickens III. So you either get a Pickens or a Norton.
That's a good one. I like that.
Okay, also...
So it's Slim Pickens.
Yes, very good. And I'm sure the Chargers aren't laughing about this.
No,
by the
they're
way.
not. They've got a DB out as well, right?
They've got two right now. Nasir Adderley, we talked
Herb
about
Adderley's
him.
cousin, nephew.
Third cousin.
That's right.
Groin, he hasn't practiced the last 2 days. And their starting cornerback, Chris Harris Jr., with a shoulder, has not practiced in the past 2 days. So we'll get their injury report probably after we finish the show, because 2 hours
I'm sure something's going to happen.
So maybe some news will happen regarding them rather than us.
And they had a couple other backups that are DNP'd. And their kicker, Tristan Vizcaino, is limited with an illness. The Cowboys had him in here for...
Tristan Vizcaino?
He was with them.
Great name.
For a workout, or maybe in the last year in spring or something. I remember him coming through here anyway. So, yeah, they're not in good shape either.
Okay. All right, so of the players that the Cowboys will be missing on Sunday, which player will they miss the most?
I think they can compensate for La'el Collins now that Zach Martin's back, because now you got Martin to help left and right, okay? I think missing Lawrence really hurts. And not just pass rush, but also his ability to play the run. He kind of plays the run violently. If you saw the fumble he created, that
Great move.
Gregory recovered. But I think him. I think, as
Did you see on the
Everson said, I think Wilson can do a decent job at the other wide receiver spot. But, yeah, I worry about that.
The way
defensive
D-Law
line.
just manhandled that offensive tackle, shucked him out of the way. He didn't just shuck him. He just chunked him out of the way.
And that guy's supposed to be pretty good, right?
And he was pretty big.
Worf, wasn't he?
First-round pick, Tristan
He
Wirfs.
was pretty big, too.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way he just threw it to the side, came in. He knew exactly what he was going to do. He saw that before it even happened. And so when you anticipate making plays like that, that's something that you just can't teach.
Right.
I'm sure Randy Gregory might have the ability to do that because, they're in that mode because they've done so many outside rushes. Can Dorrance come in and have that same type of mentality? Hopefully D-Law can get into his head, because as he shucked him, he came in immediately with the fist and caused that fumble. And you talk about violence. He punched that thing out of there real hard. I don't even know what running back could have held on to that.
Yeah.
So
especially when you come from the side like that, right?
Yeah.
So you said, so here's what's going to happen, I think. They're going to have to use more linebackers. Mike McCarthy, when he did his morning interview with the guys on the Fan, that comes on in case anybody wants to listen to it at 6:30 in the morning on Friday.
Yeah,
6:30 a.m.
I'll be up. Yeah.
Okay.
Got
I'll
that?
be up. Yeah,
he mentioned that, every week you have to have a 5-man pressure. So I think that's kind of alluding to blitzes, maybe how you line up.
And the hybrid personnel that we talked about
And
yesterday.
so here comes Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, Micah Parsons. I told you guys the other day when they were doing position drills, he wasn't with the linebackers. He was with the defensive line. So you don't want, and I'm going to get into stopping the run at defensive end, but if you want a pass rusher on the outside, you can put him there. To create some pressure.
And the hybrid defense, it causes confusion.
Right.
It's just hard to figure out as a quarterback
who's
going to be the D lineman, who's going to be the linebacker after the ball is snapped.
And McCarthy always talks about unscouted plays, like they're things that you don't know the other team's going to do because it's early in the season, and basically spoke about unscouted personnel, like how do you use your personnel. So I think Dan Quinn just has to be very creative in this game to create pressure because if they don't get pressure on Justin Herbert, they're going to be in trouble. This guy is awfully good. We talked about him yesterday.
They tried to do it against Brady, but he was very good at protection and audibling the protection. I don't know how good Justin is at doing
and he
that.
might not. His recognition might not be as great as an experienced
I'm pretty sure it isn't.
Brady's probably seen every blitz you can think of, like
he did.
Donovan Wilson coming and he hits Gronkowski.
Don't shortchange him. He did win the academic Heisman.
Yes,
at
I
Oregon.
did see that, the Campbell Trophy. Absolutely. And he stayed his extra year, too.
There you go.
He didn't leave early. He got him another year.
I've seen a lot of guys from Yale screw crap up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You can think about your trophies and your academic awards all you want. When that big guy's coming at you, you're going to be crapping on yourself. You're not going to think about anything else.
I'll also point out Drew Henson was a valedictorian in high school, too. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
There you go. Never heard of him.
So, so anyway, they ended up, after week one of only 2 teams that didn't register a sack. That can't happen again Sunday if they plan on winning.
Who's the other team?
I believe it was Green Bay.
How things turn out for them in that game.
Yeah, they didn't turn out so well.
And once again, guys,
and Chandler Jones gets 5.
We can offset so many things with turnovers.
Right.
We just have to make sure that whatever we fail at, that we succeed.
Compensate.
Yes, we succeed at another category, and those turnovers can really help. Kept us in the ball game in time.
Yes, it did.
So what do you anticipate the snap count's going to be for the linebackers this week? Let's say the Chargers run 75 plays on offense. So what's going to be the distribution?
Will they go 3 wide all the time like Tampa Bay did?
That's what we got to figure out.
That's the part I don't know.
They could.
But
that's part of the question.
They've got tight ends that they certainly can use. You know, Jared Cook. And then, what was the guy? Donald Parham Jr. He's 6'8".
Yep. I have to ask you, how is Cook ending up with so many different teams when he is extremely
Somebody
talented?
keeps signing him, right?
I guess he's falling uphill.
I mean, we can remember
right?
the pass he caught. Was it the 2014 Green Bay playoff
Yes, that
game?
was Dak's rookie year.
2016?
That was Dak and Zach.
2016.
Dak and Zeke's rookie year.
Okay, yeah. When he caught it sliding out of bounds to set up the winning field goal after
he was just with
Dak
the Packers for 1 year and then 2016, just enough to make that catch.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the Raiders. No, Saints. It was Raiders, then Saints, or Saints, then Raiders.
Saints, then Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, he just keeps falling uphill.
But he's there, and then so their other tight end, they go 2 tight ends. Those are two big guys.
And talented guys. One of them is talented.
Jared Cook, okay. What do you think he runs? When he came out of college at South Carolina, what do you think he ran?
I saw him play. He looks a sneaky 4.7.
4.5. He ran a 4.5 at the combine.
That's why he's so effective.
Exactly, and you wouldn't think that when he was coming out of college, 6'5", 254 pounds, ran a 4.5 flat at the combine with a 41 vertical.
And he has looks like no body fat.
Yeah. And so you wonder how a guy like that, he was third-round pick in 2009 at a Tennessee, or by Tennessee with the Titans.
2009.
2009.
So they also...
wow.
Remember how bad the Cowboys draft was in 2009? Could have gotten Jared Cook to team with Jason Witten back then.
And he's still playing his butt off.
Uh-huh.
So they also, at wide receiver, Mike Williams, 6'4".
He's the one that said he really enjoyed watching the game. He said looked like Tampa Bay's wide receivers were having a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
Kind of like Terrell Basham, what he said about Brian Bulaga. Of course, it does no good now because Bulaga just went on IR.
And then their other starting wide receiver, Allen.
He's the man.
Keenan Allen.
He's there, Amari Cooper.
He's 6'2". So the point McCarthy was saying, with the height of their receiving core, it 50-50 balls. Even if you're covered, right, they're open because of how tall they are. So getting pressure on Herbert's going to be very, very important.
And at 6'6".
And he's 6'6".
Yeah, but he's 6'. So coming up the middle won't mean jack.
Right.
You got to come from the outside.
And you better hit him hard because he's 260, right?
He will lock in on a receiver, which he did on his interception that he threw last week against Washington. In fact, it was one of those tight ends, Steven Anderson, who was lined up more like an H-back or fullback in the backfield. It was a semi-wheel route, but actually it was down and out, and he. The cornerback was in a zone and came off and made the interception because he had his eyes open.
Yeah. I was going to say that. Yesterday I was going to mention that. This is another game where the DBs have to have their eyes on the quarterback. I mean, you just have to. You're going to have to anticipate what the plays are. I remember what made us successful back in the 80s. We gave up some plays, of course, but we always knew what the bread and butter plays were for the other team. And that allowed me to play for that. So you know when they're going to run it. You know what part of the field they're going to run it in. You know who they want to run it to. You know what the splits are going to be. So once you recognize that, I'm jumping something. You know, I'm looking for that. Once you show me that that's a confirmation, I'm going to go for that. And that gives offenses pause because if this is what I like to do and I'm going to continue with that, this guy just picked that off. You know, so it makes you think we have to go do something else. And once you make them do something else, then you have the advantage as a defense.
I've got a list of things that he's accomplished as a rookie, and so far, maybe the most impressive, he and Patrick Mahomes are the only players to ever total at least 4,500 yards passing in their first 16 starts. And he's only I think 327 yards away from 5,000. And he and Mahomes would be the only two quarterbacks to do that so early in their career.
Yeah, because he only had 15 starts last year.
Right.
And so he was at 4,300 yards last year, and he passed for 300 and some odd.
330. No.
He went 337 last week. So, which gets him up over 4,600.
And he's been very good on third down. That's the other thing.
And to me, that's the most dangerous down.
Third down passing touchdowns since 2020 in the league. He is tied with Tom Brady with 15 to lead. And his third down passing for first downs, he's got 85, and that is the most since the start of the 2020 season. So this guy's really good. Gil was right when we talked about it yesterday.
As a rookie with 31 touchdown passes and only 10 interceptions.
And that usually comes a little bit more evened out, right? With a
rookie.
How
you beat people like this? You better score.
Yeah. I am absolutely with you. Absolutely with you.
All right, so how do the Cowboys score against the Chargers, and what is our score on Sunday when we come back on Mix Shots?
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to Mick Shots.
I like that. Does your Cowboys fandom go beyond the game? The NFL Fan of the Year contest presented by Captain Morgan is back, and we're relaunching the search for one extraordinary Cowboys fan who is a positive influence and inspires others through their love of the game. Nominate yourself or others for the chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles, where the Cowboys are going to be playing somebody. Nominate today at DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year. And spittle goes with that read all the time. There you go, Spaz.
See, it ain't that easy.
All right.
You had mustard on there, man. That's what got me.
Yeah, right.
All right, big football weekend coming up. Who's Grambling got?
Grambling? I don't know.
All right. Well, a week from tomorrow, they got Prairie View, right?
Yes, they do. That's the one I'm with. I'm doing the press conference, by the way, on Monday before I come and see you guys.
All right.
For what?
For the Grambling PV game.
The State Fair.
The State Fair, Texas.
Going to be at the Cotton Bowl. That's
right. At the Cotton Bowl, a week from Saturday. And Missouri's got...
This week?
Yep.
Southeast Missouri State.
Guaranteed win, right?
It better be.
By the way, Grambling State has Houston tomorrow.
Whoa, that's good.
Houston, upset city.
Upset. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Tigers.
Grambling, I assume they're playing at Houston, or is...
We always play in
Yes,
the big.
it's at Houston.
We always play in the big stadiums. We never go for that.
And in the big 50-year reunion game.
That's right. You got the Sooners and the Huskers at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Yep, 50 years after the game of the century. Saw a guy at the convenience store on my way here. He has an OU shirt on, and we reminisced about
35-31, right?
35-31. Jeff Kinney scored the game-winning touchdown for Nebraska.
You know, in 1978, Missouri did Oklahoma a favor because Nebraska beat Oklahoma that year.
Because Billy Sims fumbled at the 3-yard line, one of 7 fumbles lost by the Sooners that day.
And they were going to...
And you died with everyone.
Nebraska finally...
That's why you had to go on your liquid diet after that.
Nebraska finally was going to win the Big 8 title because they finally beat Oklahoma, and they had to win the last game of the season. Home against Missouri. And guess what Missouri beat them by? 35-31.
Is that what it was?
As James Wilder scores the winning touchdown.
The late James Wilder.
And think about this. Back in the day, the newspapers used to do these pictures like frame by frame by frame. So the Omaha paper had it frame by frame, and he broke from about the 8-yard line 3 tackles. In the last one, he gave a forearm shiver to their All-American safety to score, right? And Missouri beat him 35-31, 1978. And they had to do a rematch in the Orange Bowl, and Oklahoma comes back and beats Nebraska.
Just pounded them, which they should have done the first time. They hadn't fumbled 7 times. They'd been playing for the national
They were just
championship.
distraught because Missouri beat them like that.
That's right. Yep. Billy Sims won the Heisman Trophy. All right, let's talk about Sunday. First off,
yes.
Cowboys are not in last place in the NFC East right now.
That's right.
That's right. The New York Giants, thanks to an offsides penalty, encroachment, is
I hope so. I hope his mama loves him. That's all. Or somebody went home with him last night.
So,
hey, he was going to block that thing, man. Okay, he was going for it
right through the A gap.
He saw glory coming, baby.
Oh gosh.
And but what a game! How about the 2 Thursday night games?
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay beat Dallas 31-29. Washington beats the Giants 30-29. And actually, I will look back. I think the 4 best games so far were 31-29, 30-29. Kansas City beat Cleveland 33-29 on Sunday.
Yep.
And then you throw in the Monday night game, which was in overtime. The Raiders beat the Ravens 33-27.
So before you pointed all that out, I had my score written down here. So.
I have
something to 29, right?
29 is the magic number.
And which is such an unusual number.
I know.
For a final score.
Well, that's if you have crappy field goal kickers. Yeah, that's how it goes.
All right, so who wants to go first?
I'm first, man.
Okay.
I'm first. Want me to do my pick to click?
Good. Pick to click.
Pick to click. I got Zeke.
Aw.
You know what I got Zeke? I got Zeke because we're going to keep Justin off the damn field. We're going to run the ball. I don't think we don't want to really pass the ball as much as we did against Tampa. I think we're going to give Zeke his chance. Whether it's run or pass, we're going to put the ball in his hands. We're going to control the clock. But yet, we are still going to lose this game.
Oops.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So I have my score as 35-28. Not 29.
35-20.
We're not leaving anything up to field goal kickers. From now on, we're going to go. If it's 4th and 6, we're going for it. So we're going for all touchdowns or nothing.
All right. What do you got?
Well, my pick to click was Zeke also, but for a different reason. I see where Washington rushed for 125 yards against the San Diego Chargers.
No, they're the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, San I knew I would do it.
He was concentrating so much on Washington's name that he screwed up the Chargers' name.
On the Los Angeles Chargers, who, by the way, the new stadium there, I learned from Jerry Jones this morning, SoFi Stadium, he was born in a house 1.5 miles from SoFi Stadium.
The owner.
Jerry.
Mm-hmm. Jerry was?
Yes.
He was born in California.
He was born in L.A.
That accent does not...
Yeah. I don't think he lived there long, right?
He was not there very long.
So anyway, with Zeke running the ball, and since the Cowboys have not won a game without scoring at least 30 points since the Game 15 of the 2018 season, I am taking the Cowboys 31-30.
Whoa.
Because they will have to score 30 points if they're going to beat the Chargers.
So forget that 29 crap. That ain't
going,
working.
I'm going
it ain't
with 30.
Okay, and I'm going to go 29-29.
In overtime.
And then we go to overtime. And Greg Zuerlein is going to kick a 29-yard field goal to win the game 32-29. My pick to click, you would think it might be Greg Zuerlein for making that, but my pick to click is number 11, Micah Parsons.
That's a good pick. Good pick.
Micah Parsons will come off the edge and get at least 1 sack, maybe 2 sacks of Justin Herbert.
They won't know where he's coming from.
That's right.
Just an FYI, I never pick against the Cowboys, but I did this year because it's a strategy. We're going to start off 0-2, and we're going to ball out after that. So here we go, baby.
Slow start and then get going.
That's right.
All right, and we got a minute left, so how about a mix shot to close it? I'm going to put you on the spot there. Here's a mix shot. We got some music. Chris Beam. There we go.
There it is.
What, the best quarterback?
I gave you my best mix shot.
Oh, give it again.
Jerry Jones growing up a mile and a half from SoFi Stadium. And he will be on the NFL Network pregame show because the NFL Network is right next door to SoFi Stadium. So don't miss Jerry's live appearance on the pregame show on NFL Network.
And don't miss Dak Prescott on the CBS pregame show, the NFL Today. I understand that he did a little interview earlier this week, and the game is being carried on CBS. So
Tony Romo.
Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
Nice.
And so
there you are. You're all set for the
Tony,
game.
Right. He's going to love this
you
game.
ready.
Tony's going to love this game. All about the QBs.
Yes.
Two great quarterbacks. He loved talking about this game.
Yep, that's right. And Mickey's going to be there too.
Yes.
Okay.
If all goes well.
And we talk about it on Monday at 1:30 here on Mix Shots. And go watch it at the Miller Lighthouse at AT&T Stadium.
That's right.
As well. All right, we'll talk at you again on Monday.
Go Cowboys.
See ya.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?